When an ancient war ends, how do you keep the peace? Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites and then we're going to dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we'll be covering the Transformer Combiner War series, which takes place in the IDW universe. This is a very long-running series and very political, but just to catch you up on what you've missed because we're jumping midway into the universe, is that the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons has ended. Optimus Prime has returned to Cybertron post this war, and things are as happy as they would be in a world where the war has ended. The former Decepticons are forced to the outskirts of civilization and not permitted to live in the city limits any longer. Starscream is the planet's chosen one, and currently the ruler of Cybertron. To make matters more interesting, Megatron is an Autobot on the Earth colony. The Earth colony is led by Prowl, the head of the Combiner Devastator, and a combiner is a technology allowing Cybertronians to combine into a larger robot. This is accomplished with a technology called the Enigma of Combination, but it was stolen from Earth after Devastator was made and brought back to Cybertron by a robot called Scoop. Combiners are unpredictable, as typically they are in internal struggles as to who is in control of the mind. We also have Windblade and Chromia from the lost colony of Caminus, and they have recently discovered a space bridge connecting Cybertron to Caminus, but it is being kept secret. The space bridge can instantly take its owner anywhere that there is a receiver, so Optimus asks Windblade,
"Where are the receivers?"
She looks at him, letting him figure it out. The lost colonies of Cybertron. Millions of years ago before the war, 13 colony ships left Cybertron, 13 Titans looking for new worlds, and all were lost. One of those Titans was Caminus. But things on Caminus aren't going well right now. They're running out of energon, their primary source of energy. This space bridge can be our lifeline to Caminus, and we can help them recover. Windblade turns to Optimus. But who do we tell? Because Starscream is waiting for results. We all agree to not tell him we got it working. Wheeljack stops everyone right there.
"I didn't agree to anything. Starscream is a legitimate ruler of Cybertron right now, and any unwarranted actions against him will be a blow to the very concept of a post-war Cybertron. Besides, he has me fixing the aerial bots, and I'm okay with that."
But Optimus doesn't completely trust this whole Starscream being the ruler thing.
"If Starscream has betrayed Cybertron, he'll answer to me. Wheeljack, if you fix the aerial bots, you'll be handing him an unbeatable weapon. They changed into a combiner, and it nearly killed them."
This is why we wanted to talk to you, Optimus. Camien chimes in. We wanted to know what we should do.
"I see. Well, saving the aerial bots is a worthy cause, Wheeljack."
So Optimus decides that he's gonna take Windblade and talk to Starscream, the ruler of Cybertron. Optimus and Windblade go to Starscream to inform him that the space bridge works, and Starscream thinks this is excellent. He'll make sure his security is working. The combiner known as Superion. Optimus interrupts him.
"Those aerial bots, Starscream, they're not a weapon."
Well, that's easy for you to say. You have a combiner of your own, Optimus. The one on Earth called Devastator. We all know it's Prowl, plus the Constructicons that create that beast. Caminus needs our help. They have no desire to attack. My dear, I refuse to put my world at risk without adequate preparations. This is not a negotiation. Now, Prime, get your own house in order. And Windblade, prepare the space bridge. I believe Wheeljack is closer than he thinks.
"You do not issue orders
to what? A Prime? That attitude, that title places you above the rest of us, and it's what got us here. I was chosen. Who chose you to be a Prime?"
"You are correct, Starscream. One bot placing himself above the rest was the downfall of our society. But when we reach the colony worlds, this will not be the start of an empire."
Well, no, I never said empire.
"This needs to be the start of a council, where the representatives of the other colonies can hold a vote."
So they prepared, and Starscream had something no one knew about yet. He had the Enigma that Scoop brought back. He brought it to two people that evening. Wheeljack so that he can fix the aerial bots, and a bot called Swindle. And Swindle brought it to Motormaster, a local gang. You see, Starscream had a plan to cement his rule over Cybertron. to cement his need for his ultimate weapon, his weapon of mass destruction. Because Swindle had Motormaster and his gang combine into Menasor. And they snuck through the space bridge and into Caminus to rob it blind. But the first resident they find tells them, "There's nothing to steal here. We're almost completely out of energon." Menasor leans over at Swindle. "You promised big score. Easy money," he said. "Starscream told me there'd be a ton of loot here." "Wait, Starscream screwed us!" "Crush Starscream!" Menasor yells as he begins to trash Caminus. "Crush them all!" Swindle begins to run around Menasor shouting at him, "Starscream screwed us! Starscream screwed us all! We gotta get out of here, Menasor!" But Menasor keeps destroying everything in his path. So Swindle says, "Screw this!" and he tries to run back to the space bridge by himself. Back on Cybertron, Starscream is trying to pick out a new body when he gets a call from Optimus.
Starscream, someone activated the space bridge. You are needed now.
Starscream yells back at him, "On my way!" Then goes back to picking out his paint job. Menasor is destroying the fighter jet bots and crushing the city beneath his feet when Starscream sends in Cybertron's first line to fight against him. Even they are confused as to what this combiner is, and they have no idea how to fight it. Optimus wanted to join the battle, but Windblade asked him to wait here. There are things about her city that she has not informed him about. Menasor cannot be stopped, and he keeps shouting, "Crush you!" So Starscream sends in Cybertron's second line of defense, Superion, the combiner of the aerial bots. Superion comes through the portal, demanding that Menasor surrender. And Menasor tells Superion, "I'll crush you." Well, Superion tried, and they jump in to start smashing each other. Windblade calls for everyone to get out of their way. Two massive bots are going head to head. It's Superion, and he manages to throw Menasor down and then shoot him right in the head, winning this battle. Windblade calls up, "Superion, are you okay? Are you in there?" "Superion is fine. Superion is in control. Superion thinks he should have been called sooner." The two nations of Caminus and Cybertron are now together, and they must decide what the next step is. Caminus is in ruins because Cybertron couldn't watch their space bridge better, and Caminus has managed to arrest Swindle as he tried to flee, and the city speaker then came through the portal to explain to Optimus why he couldn't join the fight. He is a god to them. You see, the people of Caminus follow the way of the flame, and it is the only religion. And the teachings of the way of the flame, the 13 primes, and Primus himself are gods, and above all of them are Solus Prime. While they praise Solus most of all, Optimus is a living prime with the hilt of the Star Saber, the sacred sword crafted by none other than Solus himself. The reason Windblade and her team have never mentioned this to him is because they were chosen for their skills, not their beliefs. After their first meeting, they knew Optimus wouldn't allow himself to be called a Prime, so they kept it quiet out of respect. But if he goes there, he will be their savior, now and forever. If you go now and you don't actively counter Starscream with the full might our faith will give you, Starscream will play Caminus like a fiddle, and we will be his colony in all but name. So Windblade brings Optimus through the sky bridge into Caminus and declares, "I bring you he who bears the matrix of leadership, Optimus, the living prime. Blessed of Primus, heart of all things, blessed of Solus the flame eternal." Starscream stops his discussions with the Mistress of Flame to turn around. "What?" "Optimus Prime, the Mistress of Flame speaks and you must hear. Reveal yourself if you are what you say." So Optimus reveals the matrix within him, and the people of Caminus stand in awe. Things begin to take an interesting turn at this point. Starscream begins the relief efforts with the Autobots and the Decepticons alike helping rebuild Caminus. The rumor is that Optimus is going to stand up to Starscream, but as far as anyone can see, all Starscream has done is help. With his new body, Starscream continues to try and lead, and they begin to build their council. The people of Caminus are waiting for Optimus to move, while Optimus isn't sure what he should do. He doesn't trust Starscream, but Starscream hasn't done anything to force his hand. So everyone talks over what he should do while the rebuilding continues. Meanwhile, a little bot named Swindle is pleading for somebody to hear him. He only did what he was told. But there is one individual that has always trusted Optimus, that sees Starscream with the space bridge and the Enigma and finally thinks Optimus has made a poor decision. The leader of the Earth colony, Prowl, and his team. It's time for Prowl to show Optimus what the Decepticons truly are. So while Optimus, Starscream, and Windblade are deciding how to handle ties in their council, Devastator begins to attack Caminus. Devastator is the combiner led by Prowl and the one supposedly working with Optimus. As he enters and begins to burn the ground, Devastator declares,
Cybertronians, return to Cybertron or be destroyed. This is your only warning. There is no world for the Decepticons.
But one of the Decepticons stands up to Devastator. We won't be pushed around by you anymore! This world is ours! And Devastator burns the ground the Decepticon stands on.
No world is yours.
Superion arrives and turns to Devastator.
They call Superion for a reason, and it's not his paint job. Now stand down!
Devastator doesn't listen, and he grabs Superion by the throat. He then throws him to the ground and begins to pound his head until he breaks it. Optimus calls up to Devastator.
What are you doing?
But Devastator turns to Windblade.
Did they neglect to mention how many times Cybertronians have brought their world to the brink of destruction? So are you so desperate that you would side with them?
No, we're hopeful. Together, Caminus and Cybertron can stand together stronger.
Together you will die. Leave now while you can.
And Prowl leads Devastator on a destructive path, destroying everything around him, with Optimus pleading for him to stop this. This isn't him. So Starscream turns to the medic bots nearby. Fix Superion! Which they do, and Superion gets back up. Then Starscream turns to the medic bots. You guys know how to work together, right? Consider yourselves drafted. And he combines them into Defensor. Defensor looks at Devastator.
Target Devastator. Mission destroy. Superion agrees.
So Superion and Defensor begin to pummel Devastator with everything, and Superion launches a helicopter through Devastator, dropping him finally. As they separate, Prowl looks to Optimus. This is wrong. But Starscream walks in to have Prowl arrested, only to have Windblade stop him. He damaged Caminus, and they will take him into custody. And Optimus lets them haul his friend away. There's nothing he can do as Prowl screams, "Things don't change, Optimus! They are Decepticons!" Now with two combiners on Starscream's side, the rebuilding begins again. Starscream takes point in the new rebuilding efforts, trying to convince the city speaker that he has this under control now, even though she finds it a bit weird since two combiners from Cybertron have now destroyed their city. And Optimus goes to Prowl in his cell to discuss what's going on. Optimus still doesn't trust Starscream, but he tells Prowl that they need to see how this plays out. They have to trust that there is hope for peace. Prowl asks Optimus, where are the Stunticons? They were combiners as well, but none of them are out in the open like he is. And these weapons, these great combiners, these weapons of mass destruction, the two solid combiners stand with Starscream right now. Or at least they stand with Cybertron as long as Optimus is standing with Starscream. And while Prowl is trying to explain to Optimus that Starscream is making plays to get the biggest weapons in Cybertron's history on his side, Starscream is making another play, as he frees the Constructicons with their new head. Scoop, one of Starscream's most loyal bots, and maybe with Scoop as the head, Starscream can get Devastator on his side and have a combiner that is truly loyal to him. And while this is going on, Rat Trap is making his own play by freeing Swindle and the Stunticons. Menasor is free, and he decides that he's going to make a break for the space bridge. And on his way out, he destroys the walls of the cells that Optimus and Prowl are in. Seeing what's going on, Starscream sighs and tells Devastator to go and battle with Menasor. So just as Menasor is about to cross the space bridge, Devastator grabs him by his head. Stop! But Defensor and Superion only see Devastator again, not realizing that he is technically on their side now. So they walk over and they hit him, telling him to stop. All four combiners begin an epic battle, leveling the city again. It's insane the amount of destruction that these weapons of mass destruction are causing. Optimus looks on in horror as his friends Ironhide, Mirage, and Sunstreaker join them in the cells. And that's when Rat Trap arrives with the Enigma.
Don't you dare, Prowl.
Optimus tells him as Prowl grabs the Enigma and uses it on everyone except Rat Trap, giving us our fifth combiner, Optimus Maximus. The battle rages on with all five of them swinging, but Devastator and Menasor both begin to pummel Optimus and Maximus until he gives up and sits down. Meanwhile, back in the prison, Swindle is leading a Decepticon revolt against their captors, but it doesn't look like it's going well, and he gets shot. The rest of the Decepticons give up quickly, as Swindle is finally dying. Rat Trap runs over to check on him, and Swindle tells him the truth about Starscream's actions. Inside of Optimus Maximus, they are having an internal struggle over who will control it. Will it be Optimus, or will it be Prowl? Prowl is trying to tell Optimus that Optimus Maximus is needed. The other bots will fail if they don't let Prowl take control. But Optimus tells him,
All bots fail, and when we fail together, we can pick each other up. But when we fail alone, there is no one to help.
Meanwhile, on the outside, Superion and Defensor are losing the battle against Menasor and Devastator. So Optimus and his friends reach out to Prowl inside their mind.
Join us. Allow us to become one.
And Prowl tells them no. I have seen the heart of Devastator. I have offered you enlightenment, and you still refuse it?
We must.
So, Prowl gives in. Optimus Maximus is now in sync and agreed. The fight continues on. Superion, Defensor, and Optimus Maximus versus Menasor and Devastator. With the combined might of our three heroes, they manage to literally disassemble Devastator and Menasor. Now that the heroes have won, Optimus Maximus disassembles into the five of them, and they turn Prowl over to Starscream to be taken into custody. In the aftermath, Superion grieved for the loss of his new friend, Optimus Maximus. When they combine, they are something new, and Superion saw a friend. Caminus and Cybertron signed a peace treaty, and Rat Trap was named the representative for Cybertron. Devastator and Menasor were both imprisoned, leaving the only two remaining combiners in Starscream's hands. And Optimus once again visited his friend Prowl in prison. Can they maintain this peace, or will things get worse? I hope you guys enjoyed the Combiner Wars. I know it's kind of a weird spot for us to do our first Transformers story, but I loved giant robots smashing each other. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I'm Benny for Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys next time right here.